It's Monday, April 14th. Let's level up. Market was able to eke out a gain. It actually opened up positive, filled the gap, and then started to run again. VIX did get down a little bit more, but we are into some potential support here between 28.32 and 29.56. There's a 20 MA just a little below there at 27.85, so this zone could be some support. If it does fail, the next big support zone comes in at 25.80 to 23.76. After that, it's 21.36. I'd be a little leery if we were starting to get back up over the 31s, 32s, and for sure over high of day at 35.17 could spell some trouble for the bulls. As far as the ES and the NQ go, we do have rich closes that weren't repaired from Friday at 53.3575 and 18,584.75. Bulls did test into resistance but weren't able to clear. The key number for me is 55.3375, but anywhere between 54.81 up to really 56.1075 is some resistance. I do think between basically 5,500 and 5,600 is a good opportunity to trim some gains if you've been long and you bought the dip. Qs are a bit of a different story. They tested above the 18,976.75. That's the apples to apples of 55.3375 in the ES, and it wasn't able to clear. Bulls have resistance there between 18,976.75 and 19,372.50. Anything generally below 19,000, though, to me is a little iffy, but above does have some potential. ES, similar situation there, but the 200 MA 30-minute there is a little bit more powerful, at least so far, as opposed to the 100 MA 30-minute. SPY is caught between the 20 MA and the 10 MA. 20 MA is at 548.62. I see there being resistance between 547.52 and 549.68. I have alerts set over today's high of day at 544.29 and below the low of day at 533.85. Anything inside I think is just chop, above is long, below is short. There is still an open gap up at 564.52 from 4.2, so if you're doing some type of a call spread playing for that, that's a good upper strike. As far as the Qs go, we did see over the weekend the tech names got a bit of a reprieve from the tariffs, but they weren't able to clear the 20 MA. I have an alert over the high of day at 465.05. If it clears there, I do think that it could fill the gap to 476.15, and then after that, maybe 487.93. The problem is the 20 MA rejected, and if we were to lose the 38.2 at 455.27 and then low of day at 452.63, there could be a liquidation break still lower. As of now, I view that 20 MA as the must clear. Anything below that to me is just conversation. TLT had the look above and fail like we discussed on 4.4. We did come down to the range low on 4.11, and we do have a potential secure low here. Anything over 87.30 to me is bullish. Anything below 87.71 to me is a stop out. On the upside, I think we could target the 50 MA. That would be up at 89.92, so basically $90. Gold, pretty strong, but did have the gravestone doji like we discussed on Friday. I talked about booking profits there. I do think we could probably see the 300 number, but I think low of day at 294.53 now is a hard stop. As far as Bitcoin goes, nice trend break here, and we are over the 20 MA. That is the must hold on pullbacks, 84,216. On the upside, the 50 MA is the next big upside target at 87,948. After that, could be looking at 91,455 up to 92,403, but I do like trimming at the 50 MA, and it must hold that 20 MA, or it could see liquidation break, probably back down to the 10 MA at 82,738. Apple had a pretty big run today. It stalled right at the trend line. A lot of stocks actually did. We stalled at 212.94. It was able to still close positive, but just barely. Apple usually fills gaps. It wouldn't surprise me to see the 198.15 area, which would fill the gap from Friday. Generally, the bulls will need to get over and stay over the 20 MA, noticing a theme here at 208.63, but anything below $200 to me is vulnerable. Google also, nice little run today, but stalled right at the downtrend line. It is above the 20 MA, which now is the must hold at 157.77. I think if we lose 157.56, which was low of day, there's actually a short down to the 10 MA at 152.96. If we are able to clear the high of day and hold at 161.72, I think we make it up to the 50 MA at 170.09, and maybe even all the way up to the 173.86, which would fill the 3.7 gap. Amazon got a downgrade today, but there wasn't really a lot of bleeding in the stock. Bulls there also need to clear the 20 MA at 189.84. It is below the 38.2 though, 192.38. So if you want to do some kind of a call spread, 190.205 area makes sense to me. And I also like doing that out closer to July because July is when they have Prime Day and the stock tends to be strong into Prime Day. Meta, they seem to want to be breaking up the company. They're trying to undo the Instagram deal. That to me is a little bit of a hard thing to do. The bell was already rung and it can't be unrung. That being said, the 20 MA there is the must clear, 570.03 and falling. I think this is going to be choppy for a while and probably is a good iron condor or strangle situation. The dollar has been kind of creeping down, but this pattern to me looks a lot like what we saw around March 10th, March 11th. My guess is it just chops around here and has the potential for a bounce. Anything over 100.157 could see a rally, and my guess would be the 10 MA at 101.779 and maybe even the 20 MA up at 102.953. Everyone seems to think it's going to fall apart. I might be interested in going out longer dated in the UUP and buying something up of a call spread, maybe buying something targeting that 30 area on the upside. Generally speaking, markets are still trading below breakdown levels. The news flow is likely going to be more positive with trade deals being announced. It seems like there could be 10 to 15 announced shortly. I do think that the Iran negotiations probably pushes back those strikes a little bit, although I do think that they are imminent if the deal falls apart. I would think that the administration wants to trot out some of these trade deals to boost the markets and probably regain some political capital in Congress and probably generate some support there. I do think China is going to be a little bit of a problem, but ultimately they will likely come around. I believe Trump is meeting with Xi in June, so maybe there is some type of a run-up into that meeting. I don't know that the meeting is going to bear fruit, but I do think that there could be some optimism going into that meeting. Like and follow for more.